So a quick review, y equals mx plus b is called slope-intercept form. It is what you probably talked about for like months on end in Algebra 1. M stands for the slope, B stands for the y-intercept. Over here you see m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That's the slope formula. It's just another way of saying find the, if you can find the change in y, in your y values, and then find your change in your x values. Same thing. So you might use the formula, but you also might be able to do it in your head, okay? And that's fine with me. Yesterday we talked about, or I guess we didn't talk about, you learned on Desmos, hopefully, what do you know to be true about parallel lines? What kind of slopes do they have? Or what's true about their slopes? Yeah, your slope should be the same, your y-intercept should be different. So slopes of parallel lines are the same. So I'll write an example, maybe something you would have seen yesterday. Y equals, for example, 2x plus 3. And that would be parallel to something that's y equals 2x minus 5, where their slopes are the same. Their y-intercepts are different. These are opposite reciprocals. So opposite meaning positive and negative. So switch the sign, maybe if you want to describe it that way, or opposite, and then this is the fun word, reciprocal. I'm going to write it over further. And this means to flip the fraction, like upside down. So for example, if I have, we'll use the same one, y equals 2x plus 3, then I could have it be perpendicular if it had a slope of, let's see, negative 1/2, because that would change the sign and flip the fraction. The y-intercept does not matter for this. So if you want to make a note, when we look at slopes of parallel lines do have to have different y-intercepts. Perpendicular lines do not. Okay, looking at number 1, parallel, perpendicular, or neither, you need to know which of these numbers is actually your slope. It is the number in front of x. So my slopes here are 3 and 3. So are they parallel, perpendicular, or neither? Parallel, because they are the same. Good job. Okay. Onward. Number 2, so these are both y equals mx plus b. I'm going to point this out. They're in that form. On number 2, the first one is y equals mx plus b. The second one is not, because it still has a 4 in front. And so that means that you need to get this in y equals mx plus b first. This is some Algebra 1 stuff. How do I get rid of this 4 out in front? You divide it, because if a number is right next to something in math, it means multiplication, so you undo it by dividing, and you're dividing everything by 4. So that goes away. What number is in front of x right here? Right now. 1, and so we'll put a 1 there. So y equals, it's 1/4 x plus 3/4. Okay. So we know the first equation has a slope of -4. That was y equals mx plus b. The second equation has a slope now of, we can actually see it now, 1/4. So if it's not y equals mx plus b, guys, you have to rearrange it. So -4 and +1/4. Are these parallel, perpendicular, or neither? This is perpendicular because it's -4/1 and then it's +1/4. So yeah, these are perpendicular. Okay, so that's looking at equations. You have to make sure it's in y equals mx plus b form. Now let's look at a set of 2 points. This is where you might use your slope formula, or you might do it in your head, if you can. I'll show it both ways. So I'll do the slope formula first. Let's see. Looking here, we've got two, it says L1 and L2. That just means like line 1, line 2. So it is I'm going to label it x1, y1, x2, y2. The main thing you need to remember for me, it does not look like 2's at all. I'm sorry. 2. I'm still struggling. There we go. That's a little better. The main thing we're trying to do is for you to be consistent whenever you do this slope formula. So whatever point you start with the first time, you start with it the second time. All you're trying to do is find your change in x and your change in y. This is review from Algebra 1. So I would do on the top of this, so this is my slope of L1, okay? Or if you want to say slope 1. I would do on the top y2 minus y1, so 1 minus 2. Or maybe I should color code for you. I'll write it again, so 1 second. 1 minus 2. And on the bottom, we do x2 minus x1, so you've got to make sure your x's are on the bottom, so it's on the bottom 3 minus 1. This simplifies to -1, over 2. So subtract your y's, subtract your x's. That's all we do. And then I'll use the slope formula on the second one as well. So x1, y1, x2, y2, and I subtract. So it should be my slope of line 2. So I'm just trying to write it different. If you just want to put m, it's fine. It's up to you. On the top, we'll do subtract the y's. So 0 minus -1. You do have to have 2 negative signs here. So even though it's a -1, you're subtracting a negative. And on the bottom, 2 minus 0. So that would mean that my slope is, we'll simplify that, 0 minus -1. A reminder that when you subtract a negative, it becomes positive, plus plus, like this. So it becomes 1/2, 1/2. Okay, so now you know the slopes between these two lines that go through these 2 points, -1/2, +1/2. Are they parallel, perpendicular, or neither? They're opposite signs. Have their fractions flipped? No. So they are neither. They are not parallel because one is positive and one is negative. If you graph this, then they would intersect. Okay, for the second set, I am not going to use the formula. I'm just going to show you another way to do it. This is usually how I do it. I know the slope is change in y over change in x, and so I just kind of do it in my head, more or less. So I draw arrows, I guess I should say. So m is the change in my y's over my change in my x's. This is a sign for delta. So if you see that in math, it means change. So I just find my change in my y values to go from 3 to 1. And we did this like in the beginning of the year. To go from 3 to 1, how does it go from 3 to 1? -2. So you might like this way better. It's totally up to you guys. And then my x values, my change in x, I think it's faster at least. So you go from 0 to 3 is plus 3. So simplify that fraction and it just becomes obviously negative 2/3. And that's my slope of line 1. I'm trying to color code for you. Miss Waller style here. Okay, so now do the same thing. Find your change in y over your change in x, or delta y over your delta x. So to go from 4 to negative 5, what does that change? Should be down 9. And then we'll look at our x's. To go from negative 1 to negative 7, we go down 6. So this one, you have a negative divided by a negative. What's a negative divided by a negative? Positive. And so we know it's going to become positive something. If you want to put a plus sign, you can. And then let's see. 9 and 6 both divide by 3. So you need to simplify this. If at first it doesn't seem like it's going to work out, it might, because it comes positive 3/2. So you have negative 2/3 and positive 3/2, parallel, perpendicular, and either. Perpendicular. Because they change the sign and the fraction flips. Okay, so maybe take a look at these, and while you're working on your assignments and stuff today, you can either use the slope formula, y2 minus y1, or x2 minus x1, or you can just like find the change. Whatever way you make fewest mistakes is great with me. A reminder, I know you thought you were done, that on a graph, slope is the rise over the run. Here you see an example of, this one is negative, and this one is positive. So it's the rise over the run. A couple other ones you should probably know. And I think if you did your Delta Math assignment, you were working on it yesterday, this is 0. And straight up and down, do you remember what it's called? Undefined. Maybe we should watch Slope Dude. We'll see. Okay, 0 and undefined, positive, negative. You got to know those. So, reminder that's up and down, upper left and right. So we usually make a slope triangle. Look at number 5. Draw a line that's parallel to line A that passes through the point P. So I would take my 2 points and draw this little, what we call a slope triangle. I'll do it in red. And then we count the squares outside the triangle. So this is, on this one, 6 and 4. Okay, but please be careful, because the slope is not positive 6/4. It is negative 6/4, and that simplifies a little bit farther to become negative 3/2. Okay, that's important. If I want one that's parallel to that, that means that at point P, I should do that same slope. So starting here at point P, I go down 3, right 2. And then reverse it, up 3, left 2. Obviously, it should be a parallel line when you're done. If you graph it and it doesn't look parallel, you have done something wrong. So you would just repeat that slope, whatever you find, do it again. Okay, number 6, same kind of thing, but draw a line that is perpendicular. We already did this, guys. We know that the slope is going to be negative 3/2. So if it was perpendicular to negative 3/2, then what should my slope be? So change of sign is positive 2/3. So starting at P, you would go up 2, right 3. And then reversing down 2, left 3. Ah. Okay, we'll finish with number 7. Line H passes through 3, 0, and 7, 6. Graph the line perpendicular to H that passes through point 2, 5. So graph 2 points. You have one at 3, 0, and then 7, 6. So that is line H. Oh, that's not very pretty. And you can quickly find the slope between those 2 points by making a little triangle, a right triangle. Or I guess you could use a slope formula, but I don't like using that if I can. It would be 6 over 4, which becomes 3 over 2. My other line, I want to be perpendicular to H, passing through 2, 5. So I would graph the point 2, 5 here. And then to be perpendicular to H, it would need to be negative 2/3. So go down to right 3. And draw your line. So this is the point that we went through at 2, 5, and then I did the slope from there.